Jeff Passan from the Mothership, ESPN Senior Baseball Insider, joining us from Scottsdale, Arizona. Jeff, good to have you on. Where do you want to start with the rule change? The one rule change that you think will have the biggest change in baseball is going to be what?
I think that the pitch clock is going to be the biggest change in Major League Baseball, perhaps in integration. Like, I don't feel like I'm being a prisoner of the moment in saying that. I just look back at all the rule changes throughout the years, and I don't know that I can find one that's going to have as demonstrable an effect on the game as the pitch clock does. Because you're right, like, there are great 3-hour movies and there are terrible 2.5-hour movies, but I think there's a psychological barrier that fans have erected in their minds about baseball where it's too long, it's too slow, it's too insert negative connotative adjective right there. And I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the minor league games last year where the pitch clock was used. I'm telling you, Dan, if you haven't seen a baseball game with a pitch clock yet, once you do, you're going to be like, how in the hell did they go this long without it? It's, people at Major League Baseball like to say this is going to bring the game back to the style from the 70s and 80s that we had. Not just where stolen bases are more emphasized, but where the game feels crisp and clean and even quick, which is something you would never say about modern baseball. And 2.5-hour games, I think, are going to be regular occurrences. But beyond the time of game itself, it's just going to be the pace of it. They're just cutting out dead time in the game. They're cutting out the time that the pitcher's standing there on the mound, looking in for signals and shaking and holding and trying to mess up the hitter's timing. They're going to keep hitters accountable. And inside the batter's box, they have to be there when the clock hits 8, looking at the pitcher, ready for a pitch to be delivered. I think the closest facsimile I can make is that every game is going to look like a Mark Burley game now. And if you remember, Mark Burley was the quickest pitcher in the big leagues for a long time. And his games were fun to watch because you knew he was going to get the ball in his glove, be right on the mound already, come set, and get ready to pitch within 12 to 15 seconds. And that is going to be everyone now. It's going to take a lot of time in spring training and even in April for guys to get used to this. But I think once they do, the effect on the game is going to be enormous and enormously positive.
Why bigger bases?
Because they want them to look more like pizza boxes. I mean, I think in reality, there's a twofold element to it. One is the hope that it will cut down on injury, guys at first base getting stepped on. But I think the more demonstrable effect is that they want to increase stolen bases. We are at a point now in baseball where the players are infinitely more talented than they were 50 years ago. And that's not to suggest that guys in the 70s weren't good. They just weren't educated like players are now on how to take this craft and come as close to perfecting it as you can. They weren't training like the way that players are now. So you have more speed right now, and you have fans who love stolen bases because, of course, they love stolen bases. It's an exciting play. It's essentially mano a mano with the catcher and the runner is trying to outfox the catcher, and it's something that we've done as kids throughout our existence. Can I beat something to a point? Can I get there faster than it can? And when you cut down, I know it's only 4.5 inches, but considering it's such a bang bang play every time at second and third base, if those 4.5 inches could make all the difference in the world. And while I don't think Ricky Henderson's record is in jeopardy anytime soon, I do think someone's going to steal 75 bases this year. And it's been a long, long time since we've seen that.
Gosh. When was the last time we had somebody steal that many bases?
I should probably know this, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm too far from my... See, normally, this is why radio interviews before Zoom were so wonderful, because I could sit in front of my computer and just type it up, and no one would know because I could type softly, and then I sound smart. now I sound like a bumbling idiot who just doesn't know who last stole 75 bases. So please, someone hit Baseball Reference for us.
All right. Let's, Paulie, you want to give us some suggestions of who could be the last player to have at least 75
Well, Ricky Henderson is at 1,406 stolen bases.
No, but who stole 75 bases in a season?
Most recently?
Yes. That was the question.
D. Gordon, maybe?
Oh, no, I was asking you for the answer.
Jacoby Ellsbury hit 70 in 2009.
That was the last year he was good, right?
Man, I'm trying to find a
Is he still getting paid by the Yankees, by the way? Yankees win.
That's over.
Yeah.
That much I know.
Yeah.
Kenny Lofton in 96 hit 75.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Let's put it this way. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting to me. Major League Baseball made a presentation out here a couple days ago, and they did one in Florida yesterday, where they were sort of, assessing the state of the game. And in this assessment of the state of the game, they're talking about what fans want. They said they did a big, wide-ranging survey, and nowhere on there was home runs, which surprised me a little bit. Even with the proliferation of home runs, I still think fans love them, but stolen bases was at like the top of the list, and I get it. I think stolen bases are a microcosm of where Major League Baseball has gone, and maybe where it's aired, which is that they realized unless you steal bases at a 75 to 80% clip, it's just not a smart thing to run. And so that kind of phased out the trying to make baseball so efficient. It phased out stolen bases. And this really is an effort to bring back that lost part of the game.
We're talking to Jeff Passan from the Mothership. The shift that, no more shifts. Now you have to have two fielders on the left side of the infield and two infielders, and you have to stay on the dirt. Who is going to benefit from this?
Theoretically, the left-handed hitters who are losing outs on what would have been singles to right field, but you have the third baseman shifted all the way over to short right field, or you move the second baseman over and move everyone else over. That's who it should help. I'm not sure that singles up the middle are going to make quite the comeback that people are thinking or hoping, because remember, you can still have the shortstop shifted over to one step to the right of second base, or the second baseman shifted over to one step of the left. But I do think that those.
Oh, I think the freeze up there.
Another thing that never happened on the pre-Zoom
Yeah, when
era.
you did radio. Yeah. When you're on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Didn't freeze up. Let's see if we got him back. Jeff, do we have you back?
I think I'm back.
There you are.
I think I'm here.
Yeah,
I hope I'm here. There you go.
Yeah. But you said left-handed hitters are probably going to benefit more.
Yeah, left-handed pull power hitters, guys who are dropping balls into right field. All the shift rules are going to change, Dan, is just going to add singles back to the game. So I'm not sure how exciting, marginally hard hit line drives into right field that take one hop and go to the right fielder are necessarily. I know the shift has been an issue that has caused enormous consternation among older baseball fans and people who, even though it's been around since Ted Williams, bemoan the fact that defenders are shifted. But the fact that it's only really going to add singles back to the party, I just don't think it's going to have that huge an effect. Nowhere close to the pitch clock. Frankly, I think the pickoff rule, where you can only disengage from the rubber twice, which means either two pickoff moves, two step-offs, or some combination therein, may have a greater effect on the game than the shift rule.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Let's say you throw over twice. I can take whatever lead I want now because you can't throw over, right?
Well, you can throw over a third time. But if the guy isn't out, if he gets back to the base in time, then it's considered a balk, and he gets to advance, and anyone else on base gets to advance as well.
Great to talk to you. Have fun out there in spring training. Thank you, Jeff.